And welcome to Everyday Hip Hop. My name is Cayman,
And I'm Xavier.
and we are coming to you guys live from the Black Ambition Media YouTube channel with some music updates. Xavier, how you doing on this fine Friday?
I'm doing good. We got a special guest here today, so
Yes.
if you see me interacting, his daddy's gone. So
Right, he is energized and he needs somebody to play with him. Definitely. To This week has not been a good week for me. That Bam Adebayo thing pissed me off. Absolutely pissed me off.
that was an amazing performance. 83 points is 83 points, no matter how you slice it.
Okay, so
He still got to make the free throws, even though it's 49 of them. He still had to make all 49 of those free throws. You could have missed. Because is he what would you say? Is he more of a defensive player or offensive player?
I would say like a mix of both, but not like a prolific offensive player. Somebody that you would never think would be scoring 83 points.
Exactly. So for that, are you just mad because Bam is in a conversation?
That he doesn't deserve to be in.
Or are you mad because he's ahead?
Well, he deserves to be in. I'm mad that they intentionally fouled at the end. I'm mad at the last 3 minutes of the game. I'm mad at the last 3 minutes because they intentionally tried to get him on the record. We haven't seen that in most performances, and that's the part that pisses me.
It was the Wizards, right?
Yeah.
Who did Kobe play again?
Raptors.
At what point in the game do you think Kobe was good to come out?
Maybe 5 minutes left. But they were down 20 that whole game, so they were down 20. He worked himself up in the fourth quarter. They were up and he was still going crazy, but it wasn't like Bam. They intentionally fouled in order for Bam to get the ball back.
But
They were triple teaming him, and Bam still decided to shoot.
So you can admit that at a certain point, Kobe could have just been like, we're winning now. Enough is enough. But it seemed like he was going for something. So are we faulting Bam for going for something?
It's not the same. It's not the same. Non-ethical basketball is what I saw from Bam Adebayo.
Why? Because he had people in his corner that wanted him to win.
All I'm saying is y'all better get right with God. That's number one, because these are the end times. NBA is showing you that. Number two, I did like Asia Wilson, his girl, who is also a prolific WNBA player, probably the greatest women's basketball player of all time right now, currently, did have a shirt where it was emojis of Wilt, Bam, and then Kobe. Hard shirt for your girl to wear after you score 83 points. So salute to Bam Adebayo and Asia Wilson on that front.
Doesn't Asia Wilson also have a scoring title?
She does. 54
Power
points.
couple.
Power couple. Yeah.
Power couple.
Yeah. He has a NBA record for I would say modern era, and then she has the WNBA record. So definitely a power couple.
Well,
with that being said,
do you think that would be beaten anytime soon? 83 points is practically 100.
if Adebayo did it, I think the record would be broken.
Well, did you see the clip from Halliburton?
What did he say?
He was like, when people talk about Wilt's 100-point game, I never really know how to feel about that. I didn't think it was true, but
Nobody saw it.
After what I saw with Miami, he's like, Wilt had 100 points. After what I saw with Miami, he had that.
And it was
points.
reported that he got that 100 the same way Bam got his 83, but that's neither here nor there. Salute to them. He's in the history books, and no matter if I like it or not, it's there. It's cemented, and it happened.
But I also heard, we can leave it here, but I also heard he had like 40-something at the half.
Yeah.
So, foul or not foul, the Wizards aren't an A-plus team.
True.
What do you think he would have ended up with if they weren't have fouled him?
I would say 70-something.
So what are we mad about? If he would have got 70-something
83
without them intentionally fouling, if a nigga want to hack a little bit to give me an extra 5, 6, 7 points.
83 sounds crazy, man. That sounds wild. 83 points. Do you even that doesn't even seem real.
That's insane.
2K shit.
That is people were saying all the sliders up 100%. Bam is not getting 83 points in 2K
83
against the
points.
Wizards. All the sliders on max.
Right.
Shout out Bam.
Yeah, we're in the end times, ladies and gentlemen. But we do have some music topics for you guys today. Jack Harlow dropped Xavier. We also have some updates on Drake, which I'm over. Where do you want to start? Ty Dolla $ign project. Couple things, smaller things in music. I don't think we've had any gigantic drops. But I feel like February was a good month for music. Jill Scott dropped, Baby Keem dropped. We had some other drops as well. I think that starting out, it's been a very, very solid year. We also have some classic album talk to talk about. So, where would you like to start on this lovely Friday night?
I think we can get the Drake's out of the way, so we can talk a little bit about Harlow and about Drizzy himself.
Let's actually go with Harlow. So you sent me a clip for an interview. I told you that he was back, that Jack Harlow was back with a project. Now this project was different than anything we've heard from Jack Harlow. It was him singing. It was an R&B soul project. To me, in my estimation, listening to the project, it was like an R&B project that lacked seasoning, and it's very on point to who Jack Harlow is, a man without seasoning. But the interview, I feel like, where he kind of talked about his roots, but he also talked about, well, the interviewees. Shout out to the interviewees. I don't even know what podcast this was or where this platform was. I'll roll the clip.
I think they're in like New York Post or something.
Okay,
like that.
okay. But they also talked about how white rappers especially have to rap hard and rap at a high level in the beginning in order to like earn their keep, and then you see them go into like what a Post Malone did. We see that they're it's more accepting for a white artist to genre bend and go into different genres than it is for a black artist. They talked about a lot of those things. What do you think about Jack Harlow going into a more blacker genre in R&B and having this different sound? He didn't go the country way. He didn't go the pop way, which he could have went. So I'm not going to say I respect and commend because I don't think he executed it the best, but he is trying to find his sound, and he's not trying to do what, you know, the other popular white people are doing. So what do you think about the position Jack Harlow is taking in his music right now?
I feel like this album probably would have hit a little harder if it was a country album. If he kind of did follow in the footsteps of his predecessors. I think, I don't want to say Jack Harlow was like a gimmick or a phase, but I do feel like the moment he had is probably not going to be replicated by himself.
He was big, bro.
He was very big, and he had the stamp of a Drake at the time, who is a little bit more under question right now, and he's been out of the public eye for quite some time, and that is following a tumultuous. He had a hard album
reception.
Release. Yes, because we can agree that it was a solid album, but the way people received it, the fact that people were showing up to his performances and standing still just to make a mockery out of it, that, along with other things, probably made him retreat from the limelight for a while. So with that, I could understand why maybe he would want to maybe try another genre of music, but for him to stand 10 toes down into hip-hop, I do appreciate that, but I don't think he needs to say he just has an affinity for black music and he just wants to be blacker. I feel like you could have worded that better, because now you just sound like, you might have not moved like them, but now you just sound like a Post Malone. You just sound like a person who is here for a reason, and that reason is money. And I know Jack Harlow is able to put out quality music. And when he did a lot of pre-releases for this project too, a lot of little kind of like setup discussions. And one of those, he was talking about a lot of his favorite R&B singers, Brandy, Monica. So I kind of had an idea that this was going to be maybe a little bit more melodic, especially when he comes from that melodic hip-hop camp.
Right.
But like you're saying, if you're telling me this is your blackest album yet, but then I got to listen to a black person say this was unseasoned.
It lacked seasoning.
I just really need to know who is in your corner, because based off of how you're speaking, I can probably put two and two together and figure out who's in your corner. And yeah, that music probably is a little unseasoned. Not to say his country music would have been even more seasoned, but that ain't our business. So I don't know. I'm excited. I haven't finished listening to the entire project yet. I'm excited to listen to it in its entirety. The snippets that I did hear, I did enjoy.
It sounds good. It just sounds like a white man trying to be D'Angelo. And when a white man like at the end of the day, yo, I'm black. Like I'm black. So I have a different experience. I think it's the best experience to be on this world and be black, with our music, with our culture, and with what we dominate on a day in, day out basis. Yeah, there is a lot of trials and tribulations, but I wouldn't choose any other race to be but a black man in this country, in America right now. This is what I would choose 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times. I can't go and understand the experience of somebody white trying to understand black music, because I have a feeling when I feel black music that they don't understand or conceive or conceptualize. So when I hear white people talk about rap, it's with a grain of salt. You can make great points, but do you feel what I feel? You have to make me understand that you are feeling what I feel. So I really don't. There's not much room I have for error when it comes to that, because Mac Miller was so efficient in how he created music and how authentic he was. That's somebody that you should be looking at, and not no R&B, not no Brandy and Monica in R&B.
Right.
In my estimation, should be looking at a white person that wants to enter the culture and wants to stay true and authentic to themselves musically. Jack Harlow, in my estimation, didn't do that. Some of the records, like you said, did sound good, but it just missed the mark completely for me, in my estimation. Moving on, there's been a lot of talk about classic albums. I'm going to ask you a question, but you said Drake. Tapping into white man Jack Harlow and the white side of Drake, there's been a lot of speculation about Iceman. Ebro had some disparaging comments about Drake. I didn't see the clip or what he said. Was it just hate from Ebro, or was he spitting facts about Drake not having no classics?
No, it was just hate.
Oh, it was just hate.
Like, I was going into it like
it was just hate.
I was going into it with an eyebrow raised, with a slight bit of interest, because I've heard, more talks about that as of recent, since Kendrick did that in his diss too, saying that he doesn't have
no classics.
any classic album.
Right.
So I was interested to see what direction he would try to approach with it, like by what standards he's trying to abide by. Is he going to be real semantic and real specific and say no, he doesn't have a classic hip hop album?
Mm-hmm.
And that is a little bit more in the direction that he went with that. But overall, it was just more hate, in a sense. Like, he just doesn't think a Take Care. He just doesn't think a early Drake album is cemented as a classic. And I can agree, there are certain songs from Drake from that era that are dated, but I don't think that's a Drake thing. Mm-hmm. I just think that's just more so of where our headspace was at, where more so what we found enjoyable at that time. We're not necessarily gonna be listening to.
So you're just saying his music didn't age well?
Certain songs, okay. But I don't think that's something exclusive to Drake. I just think at that time, 2008, 2010, some songs were inevitably going to be dated, and I don't think Drake is any bigger than that. But to say that Drake has no classic albums,
okay,
yeah, maybe in the last 10 years, 100%.
Do you want to have the conversation?
You think he has no classics?
I think he has classic albums, yes, but I also was in this era of Drake's dominance on the charts. When we're going to have the classic album conversation, there's different factors that go into that. The era and the age that I grew up in matters. Also, the regional bias matters as well, because in my estimation, Earl Stevens has classic albums. E40 definitely has, he has classic albums in my estimation, but I'm also a kid that's from the Bay and grew up with that sound and understood the logic of an E40. Are you going to tell me that somebody in a different state understands that as a classic? Now, Drake's music has transcended, I feel, like a regional, like Toronto sound. I mean, Drake is just a regional artist. He's a popular artist. He makes popular music. what would you say are the Drake classics? In my estimation, if I'm looking at the list, I would say, uh, see, and it's hard. How many classics am I going to say that Drake has? I'm looking at his list and his catalog right now. So Far Gone, which was really a mixtape, but I would say that's a classic-esque. Take Care, I'm iffy on because I'm not going to say, I don't know if all of Take Care is a classic, but that's probably what people herald as Drake's only classic. I would say Nothing Was the Same, or if you're reading this, would be my classic, and possibly Views. I would give Drake maybe 2, but when you look at it, they're all debatable. Unlike Kendrick in his era, or a Jay, or a Nas, or a Kanye, or some of these other people. There's a debate about if some of these are classic because they're really, really good projects, but what would you deem a classic Drake album?
But that also just goes back to who you ask, because some people would say that Kendrick's classics are debatable as well.
Which ones?
A lot of people don't consider Damn a classic.
Stop. It sold 600,000 copies. It sold 600,000 copies. I don't have anything to say about
Yeah, it
them.
was
I don't have anything to say about those people. But Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly are 2 definite classics. You can't.
There is a lot of
those.
people who don't consider T-Pab a classic
And do
album.
you want to have music conversations with those people?
Not everybody's a black revolutionary.
Do you want to have those
Not
music
everybody owns a
conversations?
dashiki.
Do you want
Like
to
you're
have,
saying, not everybody is from Vallejo.
Yes.
Not everybody would consider E40 to have a classic album.
Yes.
I'm from Sacramento. I don't consider E40 to have a classic album. So now when we're branching out to the entire music lover ear canal, most people, I would say, don't consider To Pimp a Butterfly a classic album.
That's crazy work.
When we're talking about hip-hop listeners, hip-hop heads, that is a completely different conversation. But if we're talking about hip-hop heads, then yeah, hip-hop head, I wouldn't assume would say Drake has a classic album. Because Drake, what is a single Drake album that you would say is predominantly hip-hop, predominantly rap?
Right.
He doesn't have one, in my opinion. Right. He has rap songs. He has songs where he's rapping. He has songs where he is having a flow. But Drake is very much still an R&B act. So I can see why you would want to make that distinction. But just to say, nah, holistic, everything. Drake does not have a classic album.
So you still ain't gave me an album.
I would say So Far Gone.
Okay.
Take Care.
Okay.
I would say after that it starts to get debatable. I would start because I would say some people would say Nothing Was
one in a possible.
I would say One in a Possible. Like So Far Gone, I would say is a classic. Take Care, I would say like 80-20. 80-20 a classic, and then after that, Nothing Was the Same. If you're reading this, it's too late. I would say is more of a classic than If Nothing Was the Same.
I love it.
But I would still even be like, What a Time to Be Alive with Future, and then Into Views would probably be his last 2 potential classics for me.
Yeah.
And that was 2016.
Yeah.
Then we go into More Life, which I don't think is a classic. Scorpion, I don't think anybody considers that a classic. Care Package, no. Dark Lane Demo, stop it. Certified Lover Boy, why did I even say that? Honestly, never mind. Her Loss, For All the Dogs, and some sexy songs. The latter part, actually, not even the latter part. This is the bulk. This is the majority of Drake's catalog. The majority of Drake's career is not even touching So Far Gone. It's not even touching the potential contenders. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I think it's a nasty conversation because, we're going to start nitpicking other people's catalogs now. It's like, yeah, we're looking at Drake's catalog. Okay, now go look at that J. Cole catalog. Ugh. Go really take a look at the Carter series. Go really take a look at some of your favorite rappers' catalogs. Outside of the moment, outside of the hype at the time, is that shit really nice like that?
There's a lot of nice shit on
because
Carter.
Because
Carter
I think there needs to be a difference between. I don't think a classic song should make your album classic.
Yeah.
Like Drake got Jumpman on that album on what
On What a Time to Be Alive.
Drake has Jumpman on What a Time to Be Alive. I don't think that classic song should make What a Time to Be Alive a classic album. I think your album has to, in my opinion, a classic album should have no skips. The songs that you do skip are just songs that are not for you. They're still good. They're still undeniable. It's just not something that I feel like listening to right now. Like,
you shouldn't have any bad songs on a classic.
There shouldn't
album.
be any.
Is your definition of what a classic.
There shouldn't be any wasted motions.
Okay.
There shouldn't be a song on there that feels misplaced, that feels like it didn't need to be there. It serves no purpose. Like, that was one of my biggest issues with J. Cole, is he had 4 or 5 songs talking about how difficult it is to be the biggest at the top, and how he has nobody to have these real deep conversations with, and he can't go to the gas station without taking pictures. Like, he had 5, 6 songs about that same message. That can't be a classic to me, because I don't need all those songs.
Yeah.
So I just feel like certain benchmarks need to be made. One song isn't going to make your entire album. But I also think Drake fell victim to just where the culture is now. Post 2016, in my opinion, post 2016, post 2017, you don't need to make a great album anymore. You need to make a great song or two. Like, for as good as Baby Keem's project is, people are going to be talking about what song?
The Kendrick feature.
The Kendrick feature. The Hard Flirt.
Good Flirt.
Good Flirt. That is a song people are going to be talking about, because that is the radio hit off that project. That is the good song. That is the song that you're going to think about that reminds you of that album. People don't listen to whole projects like that no more. And that's what even pissed me more off about J. Cole's double disc. We don't even do that no more, Cole. What are you doing?
Didn't even execute it well.
On top of that.
Right. They also were saying, I think somebody tweeted this, I don't know if somebody said this, but do you agree with this statement, Xavier? No rapper has more than 3 classic albums in the history of rap.
That's false. Kanye got more than that.
I agree. Is it only Kanye?
More than 3?
More than 3 classic albums.
Well, if we're being for real, maybe if we're being we're niggas. if we're being objective, yes, but if we're just talking, I would say no. I would say maybe a Kanye contemporary, like a Tyler the Creator. But there's been a lot of people saying that Tyler the Creator doesn't have a classic either, because I think, dang, I feel bad when I blank out his name now though. But I have to look it up. I can't just use that nigga's point and forget his name.
What, a streamer?
Yeah, he's like a streamer. Oh, Sean C. He was talking about it a little bit too, and he was saying that back in the day, DJ Khaled made a statement about Tyler the Creator, saying that his album can't be considered one of the best, or in certain conversations, because his music isn't for a wide demographic. So does a classic album need to breach the masses,
right?
Or can it only be a classic for a certain demographic? That's what I'm talking about.
With
To Pimp a Butterfly,
and the regional sounds as well.
not even like outside of just regional. Like, To Pimp a Butterfly is a classic for niggas with a degree, and for black people who are touched in with their culture and who like jazz music.
But even for people who like different sounds, like you were saying, jazz music, I think people who like different sounds can appreciate and understand what To Pimp a Butterfly is.
But that is still a very niche. That is a hip-hop contemporary jazz album focused on black issues and oppression. There's not so many people who are like, I need to listen to that. So yeah, there might be people who come in there for the jazz, who come in there for the rap, who come in there for this and for that. But how many people are coming in there for the entire package? Only a certain amount of people, and those are the real hip hop heads, the real black hip hop listeners who will say that T-Pab is a classic. But we know that hip hop, who's the predominant listener in hip hop? White people.
Who's going to the shows and stuff
White
like
people.
that?
So if we
Yeah.
have to take them in consideration too, do I
Yeah.
believe that the masses agree that To Pimp a Butterfly is a classic album? No,
Yeah,
I
and
don't.
that's why I can't get with in my classification of what a classic album is. It's not. It has to be perceived in the mainstream as a classic. Like the Joe Budden podcast was talking about this, and they said Wale didn't have no classics. That's crazy to me.
He doesn't. He has classic moments and classic songs.
He has a
The
classic
album about
He has
nothing
at
is
least
not
two.
The album about nothing and what else?
The one that just dropped.
Okay, oh my god.
They were saying maybe that's Wale's best album. Like
That don't mean nothing.
Wale has classic albums. Like E40 has classic albums. Like these people have classic albums, and just because the white people are saying that they don't have classic albums, I'm supposed to believe
Not
that.
even white
as a
people.
consumer, as a consumer of hip hop, I'm supposed to say that they don't have classic albums.
Bro, Kaisa and I don't even know who Wale is.
That's
And
fucking
the album about nothing was
disrespectful.
less than 15 years ago. And that's a classic album. And
How
one of
long
the
does it have
biggest
to be?
streamers,
How
one
long
of the
is it-
biggest hip hop media channels doesn't even know who Wale is. And I'm supposed to consider that a
That's
classic
more indictment
album.
on where the world is and what you were talking about as far as people don't really listen to real albums and stuff like that.
Facts.
They just listen to songs. That's more an indictment on the world and society we live in, which is more proof and recognition on why I'm not listening to society
But-
when it comes to classic albums.
But that's the same thing with like politics too. Why are we being dense about it? Like we know people don't know what's going on. We know people don't pay attention to the local politics. We know most people aren't gonna go out there and vote. So why are we acting like they do? Why are we trying to put certain people in positions to go out there and vote for when we know that they're most likely not going to win because of the situation and the circumstances that we are in? Why don't we just look at shit objectively for what it is right now instead of saying like, I mean, I know some people don't like that, but that's not how I want to view it though. Like most niggas don't like that album like that.
That's crazy to me.
How many times have we had to listen to Fox shit on To Pimp a Butterfly?
I mean, it's crazy work.
We had to listen to J. Cole do it. And then his whole fan base proceeds to do it after. Like, a lot of people don't view that as a classic album, especially in Kendrick's catalog. I feel like more people would say Damn is a classic over To Pimp a Butterfly.
That's crazy.
Like, for me and you, a person who thinks Wale got a classic album, I'm sure you think T-Pab is a classic. If you think...
It's not a question, though.
If you think...
And if I'm having music conversation with people that don't believe that, then I don't want to have, like, we have to also normalize saying this is a very niche thing. And in the way I listen to music, I live for moments in music, and I love this shit, and it runs through my veins. My opinion on this shit can't be the same opinion as somebody who doesn't put the same work in understanding and listening to music than me. Your opinion does not hold the same weight as mine. I'm sorry. In a Major Way by E40, I listened to that album and I felt something. T-Pap, I listened to that album and I felt something. As a high schooler, as a sophomore, listening to that album and saying, whoa, these different sounds I've never heard from a rapper before. Like, this is like you've listened to Tribe as we did growing up, but T-Pop was something different. I can't listen to somebody who doesn't deem that as a classic album. And in this classic conversation, who has more than 3 classics? Like you said, Kanye. To me, Kendrick. There's not a lot of people on that list. Maybe a Jay-Z.
Yeah, I was looking at Jay-Z right now.
Yeah, he's got some shit. Reasonable Doubt, Black Album. I even think I think 444 is great. Volume 1.
Are we including Watch the Throne?
Yeah, that's another thing, because it's like, am I? That gives Kanye another one too. I think Kanye definitely has the most from a rapper, but I think that statement of no rapper has more than 3 classic albums is an incorrect statement.
Is that because I would say,
But it's not a lot of people that do.
is it? Would you say Kanye would have the most classic albums than any other rapper because he is more broad with his artistic ability and in more senses considered more of an artist than just a rapper.
Yeah.
Like he's able to reach a
Yeah.
bigger audience
I
and
would
make
say-
those classics.
I would definitely say that.
Like,
But you can be an artist and not have that many classics. Hence what we were talking about with Drake. So you can have an artist that goes into different genres and does different things and not be as artsy and care about the music like Kanye West. Like, we have to remember something. The same thing that happened with Michael Jackson back in the day happened with Kanye West. Them niggas would lose money in order to create the best body of work. Like, I want to create the best body of work. I'm going to spend money for it. I'm going to spend money for my ideas, my designs, and what my creativity is calling me to do. There's a lot of niggas that use music for a lick and don't use it for the same love and passion that somebody like a Kanye West, somebody like a Michael Jackson back in the day did on a day in, day out basis when it came to their albums. They took that shit serious. These niggas don't take that shit serious like that. So artsy, yes, but wanting to create the best body of work you can is something that I just don't think is a huge focus for a lot of artists, especially in this generation.
And I don't think it necessarily has to be anymore, especially when we can recognize like that's not the trajectory or where we are in the culture right now.
Yeah.
Very much a playlist era.
Right.
So, and a lot of times I feel like it seems to do a rapper or an artist, well, we could just say a rapper for now, seems to do a rapper more harm than good to sit here and spend 4 or 5 years developing an album that most people are just going to pick apart to find 3-4 songs that they like to put on a playlist. So instead of taking yourself out of the limelight for so long and losing a little bit of that fandom that you had, maybe just doing the Drake thing and dropping a song, 2-3 songs here and there, and kind of just staying more like accessible to people and focusing less on the albums. Like, is that going to be the move going forward? We're just not going to be buying vinyls anymore. It's just all
Gonna
singles.
be buying singles, yeah, single
Buying
vinyls,
singles.
vinyls for sure.
But I would say Jay-Z has 4.
Yeah, so
He's probably tied with
Kendrick.
Kanye.
Oh, Kanye only got 4. Kanye only got 4 to you?
Well, Kanye has
College Dropout, Late Registration,
Twisted Fantasy.
Graduation. I'm putting Pablo in there.
No, you're not.
I'm putting Pablo in there, bro.
Pablo is a moment.
Great moment.
The whole title and the whole bed scene with Taylor Swift and Donald Trump that was a moment, but a classic album.
808s.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I've even gone on a statement to say Yeezus is a classic.
He's got 5 in a possible. He's got 5 in a possible.
Okay, so yeah.
If you count Watch the Throne, then he definitely has 5. College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s, My Beautiful Dark. Watch the Throne is actually the 6th. If you want to count that with the collab, that's definitely a classic album. And then Life. Nigga got 6 in a possible.
Well,
7 damn classic albums. I could say Kanye West, and I can argue on camera and say Kanye West has 7 classic albums.
And to be fair to some people's careers, we're gonna have to include those collab albums because
they need them.
They need them. They need them.
Like the likes of Jermaine Cole
or a cozy tape.
Yeah. Yeah. I love people having classic album conversations. I think those are the things that like I really live for when talking about music is classic album conversations. So I always appreciate when they come around. But yes, Drake definitely does have a classic, and yes, there are rappers with 3 or more classics. In my estimation, that's Kanye, that's Jay-Z, that's Kendrick Lamar. In my estimation, Black Thought has classics, even though he's with the Roots. But he's kind of the main rapper, so it's like we could play semantics with Black Thought, but I definitely think that he has classics as well that you have to count, and you don't count him solo. I get it, so whatever.
I'm including Lupe Fiasco. I think he has 3 to 4.
If we include Lupe, I'm damn near including Isaiah Rashad.
Isaiah don't got more than 3.
Oh, that's true. Well, his next shit better be a classic.
Honestly, because I was thinking Isaiah too, but he don't got more.
He don't got more than 3.
He don't really got more than 4 albums.
He's batting a crazy average.
Yeah, he has 4 albums and 3 of them are classic.
Yeah.
So I mean, ain't got nothing much to say about that. I would love to include like a Mick Jenkins, but again, I don't think he's reaching enough people for that to be considered a classic.
Not even Lupe is.
Stop it, bro.
He's not reaching.
He reached them already. He don't got to do it no more.
Yeah, you
He don't got to do it no more. What do you mean? Lupe been out since like 2008.
But you're way overcompensating for who you think really listens to Lupe Fiasco on a day in day out basis. There's not a lot of niggas that listen to Lupe Fiasco. There's nobody.
Because
you gonna
2008.
Say you gonna say E40 don't got no classic, but that nigga got a classic.
Yes.
Well, multiple.
At least 2. More than E40. I bet you we'll hear more conversations about Kick Push this month than about
Stop.
I can't even.
Stop.
Okay,
I'm wearing a Vallejo jersey today, man. Come on, we're not doing this.
Do
We're
your
not
head
doing
like
this.
this. Do your head like this. Do your head. Do your head like this. Do your head like this. I love that song too. I shout out E40. Leather glasses. Always do it for the big niggas.
You know who's not in this conversation? Big Sean. Oh, I don't know why I had to take a hit. I don't know why I had to take a
Does he have one
shot. Dark Sky Paradise, maybe.
Yeah,
but if Wale don't have one, then he don't have one. If Wale don't got one, he don't got one.
That's not true. Because Sean might have 2.
Sean don't have to.
Hall of Fame.
Sean don't have to. No, that's not a classic, bro.
I Decided.
All right.
Double or Nothing.
I Decided.
With that Metro
really?
Boomin feature with the Metro Boomin production.
All right. Now, yeah. Now you're trolling
I Decided was a great album.
You're trolling me.
2088.
If I could think,
you didn't include that.
Ooh, that's a good.
I think Sean got 2. We included collabs.
It's 1 in a pop, and
that's more than Wale.
It's actually 0 in a pop. Actually, it's 0 in a pop.
Bro.
Very interesting conversation though. Very, very, very interesting conversation. On to new music though. Ty Dolla $ign did drop. You were saying the group that Denzel Curry is in with A$AP Ferg and Tia Corinne and who else? Who was that?
BK the Ruler and Laser Dim.
Okay, yeah, that dropped as well. I did listen to the Ty. All I have to say and takeaways from the Ty was, damn, Leon is good. There's a feature song that came out before the album dropped with Leon Thomas. Damn, Leon is on a run. Seems like Leon can't miss. I didn't enjoy the project. It was 17 minutes. It wasn't anything special. I believe only 6 tracks. I don't think there was anything special in this Ty Dolla $ign project. I do enjoy Ty Dolla $ign a lot, but just didn't think that this project landed. I wonder why he dropped this project. Very, very interesting. Also, Kanye's coming to LA for one concert on the 3rd of April. Very, very interesting. I know them tickets are going to sell out, and I dang near want to be in the audience to see that. I'm just saying that's going to be very, very intriguing to see Kanye West do all his hits like he did in Mexico, and you saw how that tour went. That's not new music, but that's very interesting to me.
I just can never not see him wearing that black Klan hoodie.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to see him before the Nazi paraphernalia.
Yeah, before you saw him in 2016, so everything after 2016 is like
up.
Yeah, up. There is some other new music, but nothing like really, really notable. We will be back to give you guys any reviews on stuff that has come out, but there's not.
This man is rude as hell.
Ooh.
Nothing notable.
Yesterday, as far as drops.
So did you not grow up listening to Gnarls Barkley? You didn't grow up with CeeLo?
But I heard CeeLo was very problematic, and
We're not talking about that right now.
Oh, okay.
You love problematic people. Why you acting like you care it out?
That's true, but I heard
this
the
is
album,
music. Everybody problematic.
But with me and problematic people, the album has to be good enough to live up to the problems. And
I agree.
In my estimation, what I've heard, I did not listen to that Gnarls Barkley album, but I heard that it did not live up to him being problematic.
I mean, it's very good if you just want to. If you just like have something to do,
you're not really listening.
Yeah, if you're not really listening, if you just need something with like good production and you hear a nice little harmony in the background, I feel like it served that purpose very well. Similar to, I would say, because we didn't talk about the Yebba album as well. I don't think sonically the Yebba album was,
Dang, I wanted that Yebba album to be good.
because she was coming off of such a great project too. This one fell a little short to me. The production I did find to be, I liked the production. It was very futuristic, not something I would say I was expecting from her. But overall, just vocally, not my favorite project from Yebba. But still, just like if you're just looking for something to listen to, definitely check it out. Like you mentioned, Denzel Curry and the Scythe. Shout out Tia Corinne and the gang. A$AP Ferg. I think he had brought out Nas on that. So one of the other A$AP people was on that album too. So
shut up.
I'm good. I'm
Shout out
glad.
A$AP
Always
Mob.
glad to see them out there.
Right.
I feel like who else dropped? I feel like somebody else dropped.
I don't think so, bro.
Oh, Nas.
Oh yeah, but we didn't hear that. We could come back to Nas definitely because I didn't hear none of the. I didn't hear.
You think he's still rapping off beat?
Stop, man. Stop. Nas one of the greatest too.
Oh,
I
for
was
sure.
trying to implement him, but I don't know how the Hit Boy projects have aged, but I think he has at least one classic from the Hit Boy series. Of course, he has Illmatic, and Nas may have one or two more in a pop when it comes to classic albums.
Nas.
But those are arguments that we will have. I will check out that Nas though and see what he gave us. 1000%. Nas got some shit.
Nas got at least two.
I'm saying
Because Illmatic, I think a
Nas
lot of
got at
people
least
count
two, and he
Stillmatic.
might have four. There you go, and he might have damn near four.
Do we count It Was Written? Because I love Suspect. What was the one he was talking about, the perspective from the gun too? Is that? I don't think that's on this album. I think that's on Illmatic. But yeah, I think 2 to 3, low key.
Yeah. And,
He has a lot of albums, bro.
and Illmatic
Nasir?
is Illmatic is weighted so high too. That's one of them top 10. That's a top 10 rap album of all time. So
He has a couple questionable album covers though. He loves staring at the camera. He loves staring. He's
That's
staring
his
at the camera every.
that's his favorite pose.
This one is hilarious though.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
dying, nigga. That shit is hilarious.
But yeah, music drops for the week. That is some classic album conversation. But we finna get out of here. My name is Cayman,
And I'm Xavier.
and this is Everyday Hip Hop. All right, y'all. Peace.